Okay, quick overview on how I made this. So there's the end product. I'm going to go all the way to the beginning. Okay, so made a circle, made another circle, or I should say cylinder. Those are cylinders. Spaced them the appropriate space, made another one in the inside, positioned it correctly, combined them, center hole 3/4 inch, outside hole it's a 140, gives me a little room for a 1/8 inch rivet. Same thing, that's just centered in this circle there, radiused the edges there. Now this is where I created a sketch to locate the spots where I clearanced it out. Okay, turn the sketch off. Now next is creating that hole, which is on this plane, but you locate it off of the sketch. So you can see there's the sketch on and off. Okay, what was this? That was, it says copy and paste bodies. I'm not sure anything. Oh, because I copied and then moved it, and then I did the same. This is how I duplicated it to get my 6 pieces, so it would cut 6 pieces. And then I spaced them out a little bit to get them away from each other so they would cut a little better. So then you go over here to click that, go down to manufacture, and then how I do this with everything actually set up is you hit the cutting 2D profile, and you kind of go over here and select your plasma cutter, and then you just go through and select all of the contours that you want cut, just each and every one of them. So you go through and you do all that stuff. You go up here, post-process, it creates an NC file. From there, you open the NC file up. So you open the G code and it pulls it right up there. And then literally if your machine's, once your machine's homed, which I'll show here in the next little tidbit, you hit run job, and that's it. Pretty easy how you can kind of set the position of your material. Just kind of, so what I'm doing is I'm going over, watching where it's at on my piece. So that's kind of the edge of my cut. You can clearly see I'm off a little ways. I'm off, I don't know, maybe 3/4 inch. So there may be an easier way of doing this, but what I'm going to do is go back up to 3/4 inch the other direction and hit 0. Now when I move this back over to the edge of the cut, it should be, yeah, just barely. I got maybe 1/4 inch there, if you can see it. There's about 1/4 inch. Anyway, so do that, and then run it in the Y direction, kind of out the edge of your cut path here. And yep, that looks like that will clear that bad cut right there. So I'm just playing with my kerf width right now because my holes were not coming out correct. So that's why I already cut some of these out, and now I'm going to cut them again because my kerf input on the program wasn't correct, and that made my holes not the correct size. So we'll cut here in a minute. Alright, here's what I came up with in the end. They didn't turn out bad. They got a little bit of slag on them. I knocked some of it off. They'll clean up pretty nice. Anyway, the holes are pretty decent. It's decent. So this is what I'm making. It's basically a mount for a dzus for my hood. Dzus fastener. So quarter turn dzus dealy bobber. Anyway, I will be welding in a nut into the bottom of the tube. This was just kind of a tester piece, but yeah, it should be cool. A lot better than what I've got on there right now.